quick word and then we'll go across to Kabul.
Very quickly, but since our Afghan friends are so keen to talk about facts, the fact is that Afghanistan is right now under foreign occupation. So if it is under foreign occupation, if there is militancy there, the debris will fall on Pakistan and Pakistan will get involved, like it or not. But Pakistan's involvement has always been, and that is why one was reaching out to everyone, all the important factions in Afghanistan, so that one can create that consensus.
All right.
Without that grand consensus, Afghanistan will not be stable.
All right, very quickly, then we have to go to Kabul.
Because Afghanistan is not under foreign occupation. Under the UN resolution, and the Pakistan is a part of that resolution.
What is the UN resolution?
It is there, and it's not foreign occupation. These forces came to help Afghanistan to fight Taliban and terrorists.
All right, so there is a divided opinion here on our panel, but it seems that Pakistan has extended an olive branch, Mujahid. They have released Taliban prisoners in the last many months. Does Afghanistan not see that as a way for Pakistan to helping out the peace process, the peace talks, or is there still a question mark? Because the statements that we see coming out of Kabul, especially with the Deputy National Security Advisor, Rahmatullah Nabi, saying that Pakistan is not serious, that it's still harboring terrorists, they are very disconcerting here.
Durrani Saab mentioned that the Afghanistan is still under the foreign occupation. So I want to put that question forward to Mr. Amrullah Saleh, if you want to respond.
When they deny Pakistan has not harbored terrorists, let me bring to their attention a very bold fact. The leader of the world terrorist organization, Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden, was found near your largest military academy, near Kabul, and he was not found in the outskirts of Kabul. Plus, Pakistan is no longer denying to have harbored the Taliban leadership. The Pakistan government is now putting a high price tag on the Taliban and say, if you pay this price tag, we are going to push these guys for reconciliation. And we know what the price tag is. The other thing is Pakistan has monopolized the right to have all sorts of foreign relations itself, but when it comes to Afghanistan, they want to create limitations for us, treating us not a nation but a sub-nation as to who we should talk to and who should be our allies. So if presence of United States troops in Afghanistan gives the notion of invasion and occupation of our country, let me remind General Saab Durrani that according to so much material that has now surfaced, Americans post 9/11 asked Pakistan for cooperation, and the response from your establishment was our air, soil, and sea is all at your disposal. If we are occupied, we are equally occupied. You are also an occupied country. So, therefore, I think the Afghan people are far more smarter than they were in 80s and 90s. The best way for us to make progress is you have to respect Afghanistan as a dignified nation, not as your backyard. For as long as you are trying to continue to dominate us through proxy, it will backfire because we have gained massive soft power and the Afghans are ready to stand up and rise as a nation.
Yes, Sheikh Saab.
We don't want to dominate Afghanistan. We have paid the price what we have sacrificed to get their freedom from the Russian occupation. Unfortunately, our good gesture been given a bad name. We are in the favor of Afghanistan all the time, but don't blame us. And we know what you were doing with the Indians when you are going to did something which I don't want to discuss it here.
Balochistan.
But in Balochistan, in border of that, Afghanistan peace is our desire and demand.
That's very
and
well.
This is interlinked
Sheikh
with
Saab,
Pakistan.
that's very well, but the accusation coming from that side, and I heard applause, that it's a changed Afghanistan, that we are limiting their role, their foreign policy, that we are trying to, influence them. Asad Durrani Saab, what would you say?
Yeah, so that is the perception that they have, and sometimes the statements here can reinforce those perceptions.
Baseless perceptions,
but the
baseless
problem in a discussion
accusations.
like that would be that we will get involved with technical matters we just forget the big picture, I think I would agree with Sheikh Saab. Our core interest has always been somehow or other, and this is a complex game, that Afghans can be brought, and in my time it used to be called the broad-based government, and nowadays we are calling about the broad consensus. They decide, but the fact is that where Afghanistan is located, it is inevitable that some other neighbors would be interested, would get involved. Now ultimately, if we are looking at the big picture, that big picture is that the neighbors decide not to interfere, only encourage the Afghan faction under their influence to go and sit at the table and then get out of the room and then let them do it.
All right, Mujahid, over to you.
I would like to go back to this issue of occupation. Well, number one, it is our expectations that our friends in Pakistan avoid that rhetorical statement. Afghanistan does not share that opinion that we are occupied. We have never been occupied. If this is said in order to justify continuation of terrorism against either Afghanistan or Pakistan, this is certainly unhelpful, and it will have to be removed from our lexicon at this point. Second point, we very much appreciate the recent constructive steps taken by our Pakistani friends and colleagues, particularly the release of the Taliban detainees. But of course, we do have a proposal that these are Afghan nationals and they will have to be handed over to Afghanistan. They should not be released to unknown addresses. That is not going to promote a peace effort. Third point, which is what Sheikh Rashid Saib actually referred to, the future. We would very much like to welcome our Pakistani brothers and sisters that we talk about the future. It's not about blaming you or blaming Afghanistan for what is going on. It is our shared responsibility to save our people from the terrorism. Now, how do we look at the future together? There is absolutely no substitute to an honest, verifiable, and effective cooperation between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Are we ready to do that? I can assure you that from Afghan side, we are ready to get into that relationship with you. But that should not come at the expense of our relationship, sovereign relationship with others.